The middle class was once the backbone of every successful nation. The dream that hard work could buy you stability, comfort, and a little freedom. But today, that dream is fading. In 2025, millions of people across America, the UK, and Canada are realizing a painful truth. They're working harder than ever, but getting nowhere. Prices keep climbing, wages barely move, and savings? This isn't a random economic cycle, it's a systemic shift. And if you don't adapt, you'll be left behind. So today on Asset Bloom, we're uncovering why the middle class is disappearing and, more importantly, how you can protect yourself and your family from being part of that silent collapse. Stay with me. This might be the most important financial reality check you'll hear this year. For decades, being middle class meant security, a steady job, a home, a car, family vacations. That was the dream. But in 2025, the numbers tell a darker story. According to Pew Research, the U.S. middle class has been shrinking for nearly 50 years, and now, fewer than half of American adults fall into that category. The same trend echoes in the UK and Canada. Even with college degrees and full-time jobs, families are struggling to afford basics like housing, healthcare, and education. Let's start with the most obvious problem: the cost of living. Everything around us has become more expensive, and faster than our incomes can keep up. Since 2020, global living costs have exploded. Housing, groceries, gas, insurance, all up. In the U.S., wages rose around 20% since 2019, but prices jumped over 25%. That 5% gap might sound small, but for millions of people, it's the difference between saving and surviving. Housing is the biggest pain point. The average home price is now 8 times the median income, compared to just 3 times in the 1990s. Even rent has reached record highs. If you rely on one salary to survive, inflation quietly eats away at your wealth every single month. The key is to start tracking your real income, not what your paycheck says, but what it actually buys. Then, move some of your savings into assets that rise with inflation, like index funds, REITs, or even small side businesses. But it doesn't stop there. The second force destroying the middle: class's debt, the silent destroyer most people ignore until it's too late. Credit card balances in the U.S. have crossed $1 trillion, an all-time high. Why? Because people are borrowing just to maintain the same lifestyle they had 5 years ago. Easy access to credit feels like freedom, until the bill arrives, and high-interest debt keeps you trapped, working for the bank, not for yourself. Here's a shift in mindset that changes everything. Stop asking, "Can I afford the payment?" and start asking, "Can I afford the price?" When you focus on full cost instead of monthly cost, you begin to see how debt drains your future. Pay off high-interest balances first, and use that freed-up cash to invest instead. Remember, every dollar in interest you avoid is a guaranteed return. Now, let's talk about something even bigger: the changing nature of work itself. Technology, automation, and AI are transforming jobs faster than ever before. Entire industries are being reshaped, and traditional middle-class careers are vanishing. A 2025 McKinsey report predicts that 12 million jobs could be automated in the next decade. But here's the twist: automation isn't the enemy, and stagnation is. The people who adapt to new tools, who learn digital skills, who see technology as an opportunity, they're the ones who win. So start investing in your skill set, not just your job title. Learn AI tools, digital communication, and financial literacy, the skills that can't be replaced by machines. Because people who adapt will own the future. Those who don't will be replaced by it. But even for those who have good jobs, there's another trap: the illusion of wealth. Social media has completely changed how we view success. We scroll through endless luxury lifestyles and start believing that happiness comes from spending. That pressure pushes people to consume, not create, to buy the image of wealth while sacrificing real financial stability. The truth is, most people look rich online but are broke in reality. It's time to redefine wealth. True wealth isn't a new car or designer clothes. It's freedom. It's control over your time, your choices, and your peace of mind. Start living below your means. Invest the difference, not for status, but for security. And finally, we can't ignore the system itself. The reason the middle class keeps shrinking is because the system rewards the owners, not the workers. The top 10% of people now own over 70% of global wealth, and they're getting richer not because they work harder, but because they own assets that keep compounding. Meanwhile, the average middle-class family holds debt and depreciating possessions. That gap widens every single year. The only way out is to switch sides, to stop being just a consumer and start being an owner. Even if it's small, start building ownership. Index funds, dividend stocks, real estate, or a small online business. Ownership is the only real escape from the paycheck trap. So, what can you actually do starting today? First, build multiple income streams. Relying on one job is like standing on one leg. Freelance, create, or invest. Even small efforts add up. Second, automate your savings and investments. Use apps that move small amounts regularly. Consistency beats intensity. Third, upgrade your financial literacy. Books like The Psychology of Money or Rich Dad, Poor Dad teach principles that never go out of style. Fourth, own, don't owe. Prioritize assets over liabilities. Buy things that make you money, not just things that look good. And finally, focus on freedom, not flex. True success is independence, not impressions. The middle class may be shrinking, but new opportunities are opening for those who are ready to evolve. The world has changed and waiting for things. To go back to normal is the biggest financial mistake you can make. The middle class as we knew it may be fading, but your mindset decides whether you fall with it or rise above it. Learn the new rules of money. Invest in yourself. Build assets and refuse to be trapped in the old system. Because in this new economy, knowledge, adaptability, and ownership are the true currencies of freedom. If you found value in this video, hit that like button, share it with someone who needs this message, and subscribe to Asset Bloom for more insights on mastering your money and mindset.